Modern depictions of mothers pushing their babies out kind of makes them look like a dead cockroach. If you'd rather not look like a deceased insect, we have a few positions that you might want to consider.
Welcome, I'm Ellen Contard.
And I'm Melissa Evans.
We've been supporting growing families for a long time.
We've come to realize that quality childbirth classes are really hard for growing families today, both in terms of calendar and budget.
So we've decided to do something revolutionary. We are offering our full, comprehensive childbirth class series right here.
Please realize that we are not medical providers nor attorneys. We do not practice medicine nor the law.
So use common sense and talk things over with a professional that you trust. But for now, let's look at some ways to make your second stage more productive and comfortable.
Legend has it that King Louis XIV wanted to see his mistress giving birth, but men weren't allowed in the birth rooms at the time. So he hid behind a painting and requested that she lie flat on her back so he could have a better view. It then became fashionable for higher class women to give birth while on their back.
Fast forward to the 16th century, and the Chamberlain brothers introduced forceps, which of course required women to be on their back. Then, in the mid-17th century, chloroform came onto the birth scene. Do not do this. And of course, with the chloroform, moms had to be using forceps and on their back because they were obviously not in any shape to be pushing their babies out. Thus, the supine position was normalized.
But if we look at traditional birth art, that's not what any woman would choose. You'll see images of women on their hands and knees, or standing up, or squatting, but not this flat on their back thing, which makes sense. Remember this from our 13 positions for a quicker, faster birth? Well, it's still true, still in second stage. In fact, mom being on her back doesn't mean that she's pushing horizontally. She's actually pushing uphill because the sacrum curves up. So what's a girl to do instead? Let's find out.
One of the most common positions that you will see, particularly in hospital births, is the classic C. This is done easily on a hospital bed, and most hospital care providers will encourage moms to use this position. So the idea is that she curls around her baby and pulls the legs up, sort of simulating a squat. Now, it's very important to pull the legs up, not out, because this simulates a squat. This just puts a lot of pressure on the perineum. It's important to note that while mom is getting some of the benefits of the squat, she is sort of sitting on the bed, and therefore she's compressing her sacrum just a little bit, which can shorten the pelvic outlet. In this position, mom and partner can do a great trick called traction. Use a sheet, a scarf, whatever fabric you have on hand, and play a little bit of tug of war. This allows mom to really curl around her baby and concentrate that pushing energy right where she needs it the most.
Probably the most physiological position for birth is squatting, because it has this beautiful ability to open the pelvic outlet by about 25%. That's pretty significant. We want mom to be flat on her heels, not up on the balls of her feet. So this does require some skill, a little bit of practice during pregnancy. Just consider every load of dishes to be excellent squatting time, or every dropped object is an opportunity to squat. She'll want to be able to hold this position for 60 to 90 seconds during a pushing contraction. So clearly it does take some stamina. Now, during pushing, she probably isn't going to want to stay in this position during her breaks. They're breaks for a reason. So partner can do a few things to help mom out. One of them is to get behind her. Then mom can be up during the contraction and lean back between. And then partner can be the forklift to get her back up into the position so that she can get her work done. Or partner can be on her side. And maybe a doula on the other side. And then mom can have support while she's doing her work. Or partner can be in front. Allowing mom to go back and still have that balance and support that she needs.
Sometimes a mom just has to stand and deliver. Standing is a very positive position because it utilizes gravity and it's pretty comfortable. In the hospital, if a mom is standing and her baby comes out, the care provider has to be on the floor to catch, making it not necessarily popular for the moment of birth. But even in the hospital, some moms will start off pushing standing and then move to another position when birth is a little more imminent. Now, it's very natural that when mom's in second stage and that pushing contraction comes on and she gets that strong urge, she'll sort of collapse into a semi-squat.
Side-lying is a gravity-neutral position, which makes it kind of nice for two reasons. If mom is tired and would like to rest, this one doesn't require nearly as much energy. This can also be really nice if baby is coming like a freight train out of her body. Now, clearly there isn't enough room here. She'll need to lift her leg up to make room for the baby. It becomes a partner's job to support her leg because mom's got other things to do.
Believe it or not, mom can actually give birth sitting. We're going to need a little bit of specialized equipment though. A lot of times people will use a birth stool, which is sort of a stool with a cutaway, almost like sitting on a horseshoe. So they will often have handles that mom can kind of grab on for a little bit of extra leverage while she's pushing. In order for mom to use a birth stool, the care provider is going to need to be on the floor, again making that not the most popular thing in the hospital. Birth stools can also be a little bit uncomfortable. So unless you have a really cool cushion like this that has a cutaway, making it effectively like a birth stool and in fact turning the hospital bed into a birth stool, you have other tools. You have a partner who has a lap. If you sit on your partner's legs, they become the birth stool and you get some comfort besides.
So you may remember this position in our video about 13 positions for a more relaxing birth. It's also awesome for pushing. It keeps baby encouraged to be in the nice LOA position instead of the occiput posterior, relieves some pressure on mom's back. It's relatively restful as well. This is also gravity neutral, so if baby's coming a little too fast, it might slow it down just a smidge.
In the same vein as hands and knees, a really great strategy when birthing in the hospital is to use the bed to your best advantage. A lot of moms like to lean over the back of the bed. This gets mom fully supported by the bed, leaning forward in a beautiful positive position, but it's also more restful and it utilizes a little bit more gravity than a straight up hands and knees would. Now when a pushing contraction comes, mom will generally pull back with her arms and curl her body around her baby. After doing this for a lot of pushes and getting that baby out, I will warn you, you'll feel like you did a massive arm day the next morning.
Many care providers still really like mom to be flat on her back. They are concerned that baby needs to get out from underneath the pubic bone. And occasionally that might be true. We do get frustrated when that is the first and only position that's offered to mom though, because the tailbone's kind of a thing as well. Some would even joke that being flat on the back is the worst position possible other than maybe being hung upside down. That being said, there still are some cases for some moms and some babies where her being supine is the best chance to get baby out easily.
So what do you think? Do you have any new ideas now about how you might like your baby to make their appearance? Let us know in the comments. We really enjoy reading your stories.
Please like and share this video with other pregnant friends, and be sure to subscribe. We'll be adding to our classes every Tuesday and Friday, and don't want you to miss out.
Until next time,
Know your options.
own your birth.